Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is TheSparrowsJourney, and at the end of this video, I would like to ask you, will you play Breached? Breached is at its essence, a survival game. It's developed by Drama Drifters and published by Nkidu Games, coming out tomorrow, 22th of June 2016. It is a space game, and the plot is pretty simple. You have 8 days to gather enough materials to figure it out how to make fuel and to gather enough parts to fix your spaceship to finally get you out of here. I really like this way of them telling the story. It's not like they give you a background story with a cinematic or anything like that. They give you journal logs, and within each log you have to choose where you want to go from that point on. So in here you only have the interrupted word choice, but in the future we are gonna have things like, for instance, in this case, time or accident. If you want to know more about the time or the accident, we're gonna choose the accident over here. Let's go with chaos. Obviously you should read this if you want to know more about what's happening in the game and how did we end up in this situation. For now, we are going to skip most of it. So, fix generator is our first objective. So, the oxygen generator is broken. Each breath is harder. And the fuel. I'm out of fuel. I need to synthesize some. Right now, we only have one other option, which is the map. So, we're going to click on that on the top left. And in here, we have only G11 as a point in the map to go to. This is going to be the second stage, I would call it, in the game. So if you click over here, landscape, ravine, anomalies, none, capsules, low, minerals, low, recall points, 1. Let's connect, and on the right, you can see how much energy we are going to spend with this action. We're going to spend 40% of our energy. We currently have 70. So let's click on that, and right now we're going to connect to a drone, and in here, in this second stage, we are controlling that drone, and we're able to explore the place and gather some materials that we are going to need to fix our spaceship. So to control this drone, you only use your mouse. You look at the way you want to go to. This would be amazing with the joystick, I would say. You click on your left click to accelerate, and on your right click to brake. And to gather materials like that one, you need to get close to it to activate harvest mode. So that's what we are going to do. I'm going to stop, and we're gonna harvest. So on the left meter, you have your speed. And on the right, you have the proximity meter of the closest, I would call it, point of interest. So you can see we are getting closer to that one, which currently is a capsule. Now, you have 3 different kinds of materials in this game. Alpha, beta, and gamma, if I'm not mistaken. So we currently just picked up some beta materials from there. Now we just captured a capsule, which will give us parts to fix our spaceship. And in there, we're gonna capture actually some alpha materials. So after this, we will be able to spend those resources and synthesize some fuel. Thing is, I don't think we currently have some gamma, so we're gonna have to travel once again with a drone to capture gamma in order to try and synthesize some fuel. So there we go. Now our drone is completely full. You can see all the 3 slots over there near the point of interest meter thingy. So we must get back. So we found 1 capsule. We got 7 samples of alpha mineral and 8 samples of beta mineral. In here, you can synthesize your materials in here, in this stage. And on the left, you have your storage, which brings up the capsule that we gathered. So let's hack it and open it. And let's see what we get. And as you could have seen, by hacking that capsule, we lost some more energy. So we are at 0% energy, which will brings us up to the end of the day. This capsule has 2 alloy units, 2 conductors, and 3 microchips. Okay, so we are 16% close to fixing the generator. So let's go onto the map. You have now 3 locations, 3 new locations in the map to explore. There's one B10 over there, but I cannot click on it. So D13, there is a medium level of anomalies. There is high capsules and high minerals ratio. So we should probably go there. There's not a huge risk. As you can see, it's a really big map when compared to the previous one. And it looks really great. You know, making a generic map with Unreal Engine 4 is not a huge task, I give you that, an abstract map. But they have done a really good job with the looks of this game. I'm trying to show you a little bit more of what the game is capable of. We are going to get to the performance really soon in the video, but right now, I want to focus on how it looks. I'm going to try to focus on gamma, bring 2 slots of gamma materials, and then I'm going to try to find a capsule in this map, which is what I would say fairly difficult in this game. Materials are all over the place. The capsules, however, are a little bit rare. It would be cool that you could, for instance, choose what material to track. That would make things so much more, I wouldn't call it easier, but, you know, practical. Because at some point in the game, you will go into these drone phases and you want to look for a specific material, and it's going to be really hard to track that specific material if you don't have that specific tracker. Right now, I'm trying to get close to a point of interest, but I don't even know if that's going to be gamma, beta, or alpha materials. Now, part of me would wish that I could use my keyboard. Currently, I'm using my mouse, and that's the only thing that you require for this game. Now, you have an option in the controls to use the keyboard, but I was not able to control my drone with a keyboard. There is some rate of platforming in this game in the drone phase. Especially if you are a real explorer and if you want to get into hard places. Look at this. Is this view worth coming up here for? Well, you tell me. Took me a little while to climb up all this map. Capsules are the most rare thing you can find in the map, so I'm really glad I got one. It seems that they are in these, I wouldn't call it secret, but difficult places to get to, or not direct places to get to. Alright, so this is gonna fill up the 3rd slot in the drone storage. So now we need to get to a recall point. Each map normally has more than one, so we must find the closest one. I think we came from this way, so it should be down there. I see one over there. It's down there. It's activated. So let's go get close to it. So we have 60% energy. That is going to be enough to do one research for the fuel, and that's going to be enough to research this capsule, to hack this capsule. So let's get it. Molecular filter finding chance, 15%. So that's 30% energy gone. We found 9 alloy units, 2 conductors, and 7 microchips. 42 fixed generator complete. We have 7 alpha materials, 8 beta, and 6 gamma. Now you need to put 9 materials in the pod. So let's try, for instance, 3 beta. Now it gives you another option, which I can go with gamma or alpha. Obviously, you always need a certain number of materials to spend over here. So I'm going to go with 2 alpha, and finally, complete that with 4 gamma. This altogether makes up 9. So let's synthesize and waste 30% of our energy to end the day. That's not good. 35% fuel quality is not good. We need to hit 100% quality of fuel. So right now my next step would be, synthesize again, but with a different kind of formation. I'll go with, I think 4 gamma is too much. So I'll go with 3 gamma and finally 4 alpha. Let's synthesize and use 30% of our energy. This is much better than the previous attempt. Currently, I need to go for another scavenge with a drone. If I want to try, for instance, alpha 4 or 5 or gamma above 3. Some big cube with legs over here. Let's see if it is safe to go all the way down there. Because the moment you go down the mountain, there's no way to stop. Okay, there's an anomaly over there. Hopefully, we are not going to step on it. Okay, good. Alright, now, let's try to find that capsule by going to all the points of interest. that the tracker tells me to go to. Okay, the guy was getting really close to me. He was moving towards me. I don't know if they eventually change their route if they see you. I don't know if they chase you. Because you can never look at them when you are moving to another place. So up there seems like an interesting place to try and look for a capsule. So I think I'm gonna try to do that. Now this is the point where I would love to be able to track something else other than whatever the tracker is tracking. I would love to track specifically capsules right now to make things so much more practical. This will force me to scavenge all the map, and the map is not small. The map is really not small. This is gonna force me to explore all the map instead of, you know, going practically straight forward to the place where I need to be at. Now, I do understand this way of doing things. This forces the player to actually explore. But what if I just want to go straightforwardly to exactly what I need to? You don't need to, you know, that is not really gonna stop me from exploring the map. Let's be careful over here. That thing is pulling me, but I got out of his orbit. Giving you the straightforward location of something is not really gonna stop me from exploring.
Eventually. Maybe
this is where you're gonna get the capsule. He's trying to pick me up. Trying to avoid him. Restored. Got it. Okay, we're good. Oh, there we go. Here's the capsule. A little while, but we got it. So let's stop. Let's harvest it. And let's get the hell out of here. 3 slots filled. So return to recall point. Let's see, where's that? Okay, this way. 1 capsule, 4 samples of alpha, and 4 samples of gamma. Not too many samples though. So if we go into the lab, we have 30% energy. So right now, I'm not gonna go into synthesize the fuel. Let's go into the capsule first. So there is a 23% chance of finding the molecular filter. Okay. That is really a low chance. No, there was none in it. Okay, so 52 fixed generator, done. We need more conductors, more microchips, and a molecular filter. So we should probably go on the next day to the 3rd map, to the 3rd different map. So as you can see, we have 5 days, and I've not done, you know, anything hugely wrong. I've even done things right. I've found the synthesized fuel to be at 72%, which is pretty good. 1 capsule, 1 gamma, and 1 alpha. That's what we are shooting for. So I see gamma over there. Let's get that. Let's see if there's not a huge risk of getting it over here. Let's be careful. I don't know if there's an anomaly down here or not. There's none. Okay. That green anomaly shouldn't care about gamma, hopefully. I'm gonna stop over here and harvest. Now, this last scavenge will be somewhat our performance test over here. So currently, with everything at ultra, as you can see over here, textures, view distance, effects, shadows, and everything else is at ultra. With motion blur off, I don't like motion blur. I don't think it should ever exist in gaming. And VSync off, I get something around 40 to 45 frames per second at 1440p. That's my resolution currently over there. With a GTX 970. This anomaly is getting dangerously close. So let's move away from it. And whenever I move, whenever I do any certain actions in the game, the frames per second remain about the same. Obviously, if I look to the sky, it increases a little bit, but not by too much. Hold up a second, is that a capsule I see? This was incredibly lucky. I am gonna pick it up before I forget. We also got the gamma, so after this we only need some alpha. So this is the performance we get with everything at ultra. Now, to check the optimization, let me go back here and put everything to low. It changed automatically and immediately in the game. Currently, I have 60 frames per second, and that's currently the cap in the game, or I would otherwise get more, because I have 144 megahertz monitor, which should provide us with, you know, 144 frames per second. This is currently my frames per second, 60. locked up 60. If I move around, it stays exactly the same. 60 FPS. So now from this point on, I would probably try to find out what is exactly hindering my FPS so much. What seems to be hitting the performance a lot is the resolution scale, I would say. Let's go up shadows and anti-aliasing. So that will bring us to ultra with everything. Yeah, back to 45 to 46 frames per second. The game looks absolutely gorgeous compared to what it was before. So if I bring, for instance, resolution scale to low, that is going to bring us up to 60 frames per second. This is what hits your performance so badly. Now, obviously, everything looks blurred because only what's really close to you, I would say, is getting resolution scale. I'm going to get really close to another object around here. Like this wall over here. Not even then this is getting the resolution scale. Kind of cool effects start showing up because in the end this is kind of a mental struggle as well for the guy that you are playing as, called Chorus Valot. So as the last thing I'll do in the video before I wrap things up, I'm gonna try to synthesize the fuel up to 100%. So our last two attempts were at 72% with 243 and 144. It's kind of confusing how I got the same result for these two different compositions over here. It seems that having less beta doesn't do any real difference. So I'm gonna up the alpha. I'm gonna take away some gamma. So it's gonna be 1, 5, 3. Let's see how we do with this composition. We went down to 57, so this is not the way to go. And as you can see, all the materials that I had went down by the same number that I chose to synthesize for. And I would have to go to the map and gather some materials once again to try and synthesize one more. Ladies and gentlemen, after watching this video and what is Breached all about, I would like to ask you, will you play Breached or not? Do you think it's worth your time or not? Please like the video if you have, dislike it if you haven't, and tell me why in the comment section, and subscribe if you are new around here. Bye bye.